What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Traveling Hoopers YouTube page. I am Alan Pettigrew, and just wanted the draft just happened yesterday, so I want to do a little recap of like the top five surprising picks. Number one, of course, has to go to the Washington Wizards at number 9, taking Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura is a fine player, he really is, but I don't know if he was worth a number 9 pick when there was so much other talent in the draft. If anything, you could go back and get him at I think he would have still been around at 15, 16. But completely up to them. Rui Hachimura had a great year at Gonzaga. Really showed a lot of ability to kind of stick with the draft's best prospects when they played Duke. He had a handle on playing really well on RJ Barrett as well as Zion, because at that point we had never seen anyone do anything similar to that. So he definitely has a great build, but I don't know if it's lottery pick potential, top 10 at this point. So that's definitely something we're gonna have to see, of course, in the summer league coming up, and then later in when the season starts. Next is going to be Phoenix at number 11. Yes, they traded back to get this pick, but there were so many other guys that you could have picked at number 11. I get it, you need shooting, but Cameron Johnson? I know there were talks midway through the season, closer to March Madness, that he could go in the lottery, but those died down shortly afterwards. Get it, great size, 6'9", really good wingspan, great shooter, a little bit of a playmaker, but that's not enough at number 11, especially when you need so many other things like another ball handler. You could have took a stretch and grabbed someone else who had a little bit more claim to fame. I get it, at 11, all of the top point guards in the draft were gone. But realistically, you could have took another reach and got someone like Ty Jerome, who's going to be a serviceable guard at the next level, or even Nikhil Alexander Washington. Just someone that can actually have a lead ball handler. I guess they're really expecting to get someone in the upcoming weeks within free agency, but you gotta think long term, especially with someone like Devin Booker, who's only been in the league 5 years and still under 24 years old. And that clock is even ticking on that. He could be out of here within 2 years when his contract's up. Right, now third player on this list is going to be Darius Bazley. And for Mr. Bazley, it has nothing to do with him. He's a fine player, great talent. I love to see 6'9" switchable guys like him. He actually reminds me a lot of Jeremy Grant with a more refined toolbox and a little bit less athletic. But what I do think is an issue for this is fit, and I blame that all on OKC. They do have a running habit of selecting the athletic wing or a combo forward who has the size and athleticism in the build, but they're in dire need of playmaking. You can see it in the playoffs. After Paul George's shoulders really went bad, they ran out of that secondary score. Russell Westbrook has been extremely inefficient all season long. That's something that's been hurting them. Then they have Dennis Schroeder, who's pretty much like Russell Westbrook, except a little bit more efficient, and that's something you can't run on. You need another guy that can be able to do it, and they passed that away, and they didn't even look at a true future pick. I think they said he's more comparable to someone like Wilson Chandler, who is extremely serviceable, and even someone that I wanted OKC to pick up about 4 years ago when he still played with the Denver Nuggets. But unless Bazley comes in immediately and is that Wilson Chandler type of guy, this is going to be a pick that could possibly come back and bite him in the ass. Or at least come back and really sour whatever the team is going for within the next few years. All right, and the fourth guy on this list is going to be Jordan Poole. I actually love Jordan Poole when he was at Michigan. I think he's a great secondary ball handler. He can really shoot the lights out. But taking him that early in the first round, little puzzling on on the Golden State Warriors behalf, personally, if you ask me. I think he's a really good talent. Probably could have got him in second round. I think a lot of people even had him projected to go that late, and I don't think he was on a lot of people's like top 40 big board. So you could have got him at a lower cost in a later round and possibly even shored up another pick for yourself. But I completely get it. They do have a running thing. They love people that can create for themselves a little bit, and they love shooters, which only makes them stronger in the long run, especially this season when they have to play without KD, who may even leave in free agency and they won't have him next year, and definitely with Klay Thompson being out with that ACL for probably the next 6 or so months. So Jordan Poole, great fit, questionable pick that high though. All right, and our last guy on this list is, of course, the 7'2" dude who's been talked about since he was in the 8th grade about how great his skills are. I get it. He was injured. We didn't see him most of the season. The same thing could probably be said for Darius Garland, who again was injured, probably played just as many minutes as Bol. I get it. At 6, I think Darius Garland is about 6'2". You can get away with coming back from an injury. But Bol, 7'2", shot blocker, can shoot the three. Little questionable everything else, but I feel like that's a person you take a risk, and I think it's a great pick that you can get him at 44. That value is crazy, and if he comes back healthy, the Denver Nuggets will be one of the scariest teams in the West for the foreseeable future. They have elite talent, or borderline elite talent, at every single position potentially if everything works out for them, and they will all be at their peak around the same time. You got Nikola Jokic at the 5. Somehow Bol stays healthy, gets into that great shape. You got him at the 4. You got Michael Porter Jr. if he can come back. I know it's a lot of ifs. If he can come back from that injury, back completely healed up. There was probably about 2 months ago, there was video of him throwing down windmills, so he definitely has his athleticism back. We will see him in the summer league most likely. Then you got Jamal Murray, and you got Gary Harris. That is going to be a dangerous starting 5, and the guys that they coming off the bench are going to be incredible. The rest of the league, what were you thinking letting Bol go that far in the draft? I imagine there's going to be some type of news coming out within the next couple weeks about some type of health concern that everybody was worried about. But if you can, you need to take Bol in this draft. And the right team did. And they clearly have a great staff that's going to give them time to recover. I think Bol is going to be the steal of this draft just because he was that low. If he was taken anywhere else, he'd have some major bust potential. The second round flyer, Denver, you did great. Rest of the league, we'll see in a few years. All right. Thanks for sticking around watching the video this long. If you've made it this far, please go ahead, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Share with your friends. We also have a podcast that usually comes out on Sunday afternoon. All the links are in the description. Go ahead and give that a listen. Thank you. I am Alan Pettigrew Jr. This has been the Traveling Hoopers.